You get your kicks flying too close to stars? Because you're putting out some interesting radiation. Sounds like you're just the type of pilot the Vanguard's looking for.
You might be Freestar Ranger material.
Give it your all out there. Supra et Ultra.
Don't mess with me!
You think you're just gonna walk up here and get us to surrender?
You killed a Terramorph. Holy shit.
So tell me, stranger, how do I know you're gonna deal straight with us?
Make us look good out there, recruit.
Welcome back, everybody, to a Starfield Report podcast. I am your host, Kenny Smyson, and with me, as always, is Jax. How are you doing, Jax?
Good morning. I'm doing wonderful. How's everybody today?
Oh, it's
Awesome.
been. Everybody is awesome. Well,
That's what I heard.
I hope everybody is awesome, and everything is awesome if you're part of a team. Assuming you saw that movie,
Which one?
the Lego movie.
Oh, I haven't. You know
Yeah.
what? I don't think I've seen any of the Lego movies or played any of the Lego video games.
Yeah, the Lego. I know they've done a few Lego movies, but that first Lego movie was actually just so good, and it hits you. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it hits you with a curveball from a story perspective that, like, having been a kid that loved Legos, young Gen X is playing Legos in the 80s when they became like, a huge thing. And then but then also as a dad, you watch that movie. Oh man, it's such a good movie. I 10 recommend. Watch it with your, any little kids you have in your family. It's a movie that's fun for kids, but also adults get a lot out of it.
That seems to be a lot of them anymore, especially like the DreamWorks.
Mm-hmm.
There's always like double entendre, like
Oh,
adult
yeah.
meaning hidden behind almost every single thing that they're doing. The visual is for the kids, but the dialogue is for the adults.
Yep. Yeah, that happens a lot. But the Shrek movies, in particular, where that started, and
Yeah.
and I think that's as long as the innuendo is not too over the top, or something
Pixar does it a lot too.
the kids might start acting.
Right. When they
out.
start hitting about 8 or 10 or so, and they're all talking on the playground and they start putting stuff together.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's going to be really funny is like another, over the next decade, as all of these kids movies that they would have seen in the 2000s and 2010s, now they're adults and having kids themselves, and they go back to watch these movies and they're like, oh my God, I didn't realize this was in that movie.
Well, that's what you have, but I definitely have gone back and watched some of the old Looney Tune cartoons, Bugs Bunny and Chip and Dale and those, and you're like, these were way adult conversations going on.
They were pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well, we just watched, so my daughter just turned 6, and we just rewatched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I've not watched that movie probably since the 90s. I know, I know since turning 18 and into the new millennium after the year 2000, I definitely did not watch that movie. And it's a good movie. It was fun. I mean, the stop animation was, a little dated, but she loved it, But I was surprised. It was pretty clean. There was a couple like innuendo kind of, or not innuendo, kind of like adult jokes that kids wouldn't get. But what was funny is I remember the big brother, the neighbor big brother, being way older, but he's like 15, but he was like this cool older brother. I mean, I was, I think 9 when the movie came out or something like that. So.
Right. And he was the adult in the room when you were a kid watching the movie. It's like, oh, that's the grown-up brother. That's the adult. And then you watch it now, and he's like, oh, he was only like 15 years old.
Yep. Well, and what's really funny, though, is I was looking up the ages of all the actors and actresses in the movie. And the neighbor dad, I think, was only probably 15 years older than the big brother. He was like the neighbor dad, the actor playing him was like 30 years old, and the actor was 15 that played the big brother. So only a 15-year difference. But he had like kind of premature balding, so he could have easily, passed for like 40. And that's kind of how they made him appear about to be 40 years old, but he was like in his early 30s.
Gotcha.
So
Hey, I want to do a shout out to somebody real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Because we got one particular guy says he likes to listen to us with his headphones on while he's busy at work. So, Mossy, hope you're doing good out there today.
Yep. Kermit. Who knows when he's going to listen to it, though, because he banks them for when he's on his. I think he said he's on when he's driving. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Starfield After Dark. He's always on Starfield After Dark, right? Yeah.
I don't know if it's everyone, but he's regular.
A regular.
Stash has pretty much become a co-host.
Yeah, at this point.
He's pretty much co-host now, I think.
Yeah. So good crew of guys over there. So Pedro's doing a good show over there. I like to joke he runs a proper show compared to us just sitting around talking.
Out. Show notes. What are you talking about? So what are we doing this morning, Ken?
All right, next up, we're going to get into our weekly gameplay talk. I didn't get up to a whole lot. What did you do this week in the game?
Last week we were talking about the ships, and so I went through and I started rearranging my habs and putting in new habs and taking some doubles and turning them into 2 singles and just basically interior decorating my ship for the layout. I'm still not happy with it. I tried using those bathrooms from the SPE. You have a new hab video out too, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was using the bathroom one by one from SPE, and I just don't like the way that it's the location where I've got it, the way it's set up. I don't like it. I got another spot that's behind my living quarters on the deck of my living quarters, and I want to turn one of them into like a what would you call it? A fruit cellar, basically a storage pantry.
Okay. And
put a bunch of storage pantry stuff in there, and then a second one that I can turn into a small like manufacturing room, right?
Okay.
With all my benches and stuff in it. So trying to find ones of those that I like the aesthetics of. I need a square box. The only one by one I can find is that, and I think is there a setting that you turn off empty habs in the settings?
I don't
hide
know.
Empty habs, because I can't find any of the vanilla empty habs anymore.
You just scroll over to the side.
They're not there.
That's
the only empty hab I can find is that one Nova Galactic, the empty Nova Galactic 1x1, which is like a mod all to itself.
Yep. Well, Graph's Habs has an empty Nova Galactic 1x1.
Maybe that's the one.
But
all the vanilla ones, I'm looking for just the square Deimos square box empty 1x1 hab.
Best
to turn into my room, and it's not there.
Best thing I could say, and without fail, every time somebody starts complaining about the game, you got a mod. I bet you there's a mod
for it. Yeah.
Well, there's a mod I think that broke your game if you can't see those empty habs. So
I seem to remember seeing an option somewhere to hide empty habs. So I got to look at that.
Oh, well, that might be. I don't think that's in the vanilla game, but I know some of the mods that deal with ship inventory, like the menus. Either they've glitched and made the empty habs disappear, or maybe there is a setting in there. Yeah, I mean, you could just.
That's what I've been doing is playing with my ship to try to get it where I want it. It's not quite there. It's getting closer. It's the layout is looking really good. The walkthrough, the flow, walking through the ship's pretty good.
You had mentioned last week how you were trying to get a 2x3 mess hall to work in your ship, but you said it was weird because the doorway was coming into the kitchen area. Mm-hmm. But did you find one of the other ones where it's maybe flipped in a different one?
Kind of flips the kitchen around a little bit. I'm using the SPE 3x2 mess hall B with no roof, with no sunroof, right?
Okay.
So it's got a what's it called? A hydroponics area. Some of them have a large galley with a large kitchen, right? This one just has a little corner kitchen and galley. And then it's got like a back room, which is where I enter from.
Okay.
And it's got a small little 1-by-1 hallway, and then it opens up into the large living area, kitchen, dining room, pool table, fireplace, all of that stuff.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I didn't even work on my new ship this past week at all because I didn't have a whole lot of game time with all the house cleaning I've been doing.
Yeah, you showed me a video, and you were cleaning carpet, so there was furniture all over.
Oh yeah. My desk right now is a disgusting mess because I just had to start putting stuff somewhere. And
right.
But today, over the weekend here, I'm gonna redo my whole desk setup here. I'm gonna have to do it like multiple phases. Because I still have to set up the new microphone, the monitor. But also, I have like multiple phases of how I have to plan this whole little
Mine's pretty much set, but when I started it, all I had was the tower and one monitor. And since then, I've added the speakers, and I've added a second monitor, and I've added the boom and the microphone and the new camera. And I've got mine where I want it. That I don't have to spend no more money. I'm good.
Nice.
So
let's see. So my gameplay here this week, I'm going to show some stuff here. These are I decided to do the Earth landmarks because let's see. I'm going to switch to I'm looking at the very last photo. I don't know why I put the other one first, but this is the tower in Dubai. Now there's 10 landmarks in the game, and most of them
I've not done all these.
Yeah, there's. I think when the game launched, there was only 6 or 7, and over the course of some game updates, they've added some others. And typically, the way you get these is you have to find usually a book and read the book, and it unlocks the location for you to travel to. Like if you try to land near it, it's not going to trigger. You're not going to land at it. You have to get the location discovered on your map. You can, if you're on PC, do a COC thing or a command console thing to travel directly to it and unlock it that way, which for most of these is not going to be an issue, except for the NASA Launch Center, which is part of the main quest, which unfortunately you have to do the main quest to get to. So anyways, so I'm looking at the really tall tower, the very last one. That's the tower in Dubai, right? Now I looked at it. I was like, man, you definitely got to be able to jump pack it because you can see all the buildings all just shot out. And as you walk around it, you look up, you're like, okay, I can jetpack to there and there and there. No, like they've got invisible walls and everything that were. I thought I was
like jetpack up and land on a ledge and rest and get your boost again and go again.
I was only able to go so far, and then eventually I just hit walls, and so then that's when I went to the internet to verify it. So what I did was, because I'm on a computer, I turned off clipping. So then that way my character just floats around. And it's funny, he like does this little like
where his arms and legs are paddle wheeling.
And so I went all the way to the very top of the tower, and that's the first picture in the set of 10. Now, however, though, when I turned off the clipping, I fell through that. And at some point, like about 2/3 the way down, falling through everything, I suddenly hit a solid floor again, and it obviously killed me. So in that picture, I'm kneeling technically, but that's only because I positioned myself just right, and my character is doing this. But as soon as I went into photo mode, I was able to toggle to kneel, and that way he looked, like he's just kneeling at the top of it. But you can see my huge ship down there and how small it looks compared to it.
Right.
So, all right. See, the next picture over is there were 3 or 4 of the buildings are all kind of very similar. I think this was, I want to say Hong Kong. I can't remember. It's the one with the sun in the background, the ship in the far left in the background.
You know what I don't? Oh, there it is. I was going to say I don't see the Egypt one, but there it is. It's at the bottom. I've done Egypt, and I've done, I think is it New York, or is it, I don't know. I can't remember which one. I know I've done Egypt.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite picture of all of them here. because I got
I've not done the Dubai. I've not done the St. Louis. I've not done that. What's the one with the circular tower? I haven't done that one. Is that Tokyo or something?
Oh no, that's Los Angeles. Let me find
Okay, I haven't done that one. And I keep meaning to convince myself to spend some game time going and collecting all those.
Yeah. It takes about 5 minutes probably per,
Mhm.
Well, it depends on how,
But
well,
you gotta
some,
go find the
well,
book first.
yeah, one of the books is inside the Crimson Fleet, the key.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the St. Louis Arch was another good picture I got right there.
That's a good one with the sun right through the middle of it.
Yeah, Empire State Building. That was a pretty one of the Earth can have some really pretty sunsets and nighttime because the thin atmosphere of the planet.
Mhm.
But I think my favorite picture is the one with the pyramids. Which, speaking of the pyramids, I really hope the next Elder Scrolls game is set in Hammerfell, where we can get some of
Ooh,
that.
what is this one?
Which one?
Number 8
Number 8.
in
So
the
1,
block of
2,
9.
3,
The
4,
second to
5,
last.
6, 7, 8. Second to last.
The second to
Okay.
last one.
Okay.
Right after the Egyptian.
Oh,
right after the
number
pyramid.
9. Which one is that? I don't know. It's like
Looks
a
some kind of
narrow tapered building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that one is. I should have named them each.
It's okay.
As I took them, but yeah. So so there's the 9. Yeah, 9 here, but I have that's only because the 10th one, the launch tower, I don't have. But yeah, so that was pretty much the extent of my gameplay this week. Just doing that. Didn't do much of anything else.
Yeah, I didn't. I did the mission, and then that's after I did the mission. I kind of had some time, so that's why I played around with my ship for a while.
Nice.
I've been in pain for 2 days with a pinched nerve in my back, and so if I'm not as quick-witted or as jovial as usual, it's because I'm trying to make it through this without too much grimacing.
Gotta go see a chiropractor.
Yeah, I need to. I'm a member at The Joint, which is a chiropractic chain across the nation.
Okay.
I don't know. I've heard some stuff recently about chiropractors that makes me a little leery.
Oh yeah. There's definitely some horror stories. Like this lady had her is paralyzed, and all that. You go to any medical profession, you're gonna hear that story.
Right.
The way I tell if a chiropractor is a good one or not is if they try to tell you need to come in all the time to maintain it. I mean, unless you have like an actual like deformity or injury that is resulting in you needing frequent treatment, you don't need to. So that's like the chiropractic office I go to. There's like the main gal who owns it. It's in her name, but there's the guy that works there is the one I typically see. Sometimes I'll go like 6 or more months without seeing him. And he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Hey, just back to a little tweak." And there's sometimes I'll have to go back a month later because my lower back will get out of place, and he pops it right back in, and we always joke about like, "All right, well, hope I never see you again."
Right.
So that's the way he sees it. It's like if he sees you again, it's not that he didn't do a good job, but it's like he'd rather not see you because
right. It's like having to get an occasional alignment on your car from hitting potholes.
Yep.
You got to get things straightened out.
Yep. All right. So the mission of the week is Deputized. Now, quick side note: on last week's episode, we were going to do Deputized, but then we didn't. We spent a lot of time talking about the Great Loretto Caper, which, to a point of clarification for the audience, is that you can't do that one. Won't spawn until after you've done the bank heist. Because I went to do a screenshot for my thumbnail in game of my character talking to Annie, and I couldn't find it. I reloaded an old save, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, what the heck? And I realized, well, the bank heist is still ongoing, so she wasn't there. So once you've done the bank heist, that's when they'll spawn by that back fence behind the Trade Authority building, and then
you can't have the kids running the streets if there's gangsters at the bank.
Oh, fair point. So yeah, Emma probably had Annie, on somewhere locked up or not locked
right?
just yeah. in the rock, right? So, but yeah, so
At
yeah,
the bar.
Yeah.
It's safer. We'll just keep the kid here at the bar.
Yeah, keep the kid at the bar. Safer here than out there with the gangsters. But yeah, so yeah, Great Little Road Caper, fun little quest you can do that kind of just adds a little, fleshes out the city of Aquila and whatnot. Anyways, Deputized. So now that you've helped with the bank, you go talk to Emma Wilcox, and what she wants you to do first is go to their little mission board. So when you go into the rock, to the left is the doctor, which is the only doctor in the city. So whenever you need medical assistance, go there and that doc will patch you up. Go to the right, you go up the stairs, and then that's where the bar is. And on the right wall, there's the mission board specifically for the Freestar Rangers. And it's just like the other general mission boards you can come across and go.
Okay, so I've heard you mention this particular mission board before. There's also a yellow mission board right outside the front door of the rock. Is that also a specifically Freestar mission board?
I've never even noticed that one. It's right outside the front door?
If you're going up the steps going into the rock, it's on your left-hand side.
I've never even recognized it.
Yep. So you got the steps that go over to the place where all the rocks and minerals are. What is it? Midtown Minerals?
Midtown. Okay.
In Aquila, the place.
Yeah. That's to the right of the rock. Yep. Because you got the hitching post, the hitching post, Midtown Minerals, and then the rock, if I remember correctly. Or anyways,
steps to go up to the left. If you're going towards the rock, it splits to the steps to go up to the minerals place
on the left.
Yeah.
Okay.
So between those steps and the front door,
that's where okay. I'll have to check. I mean, it could be they have the same mission board right outside. Just for you don't have to walk inside all the way up to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you
think the one that's inside the bar has different missions than, like, say, if you were to put a Freestar mission board on your ship or in your house?
Well, they're kind of a radiant quest, right? It picks a location.
Right. Yes. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is it radiant the same inside the rock as it would be anywhere else where you find a particular Freestar mission board? Because you've got Freestar mission boards, UC mission board. What else?
But
Crimson Fleet mission board, and then what's the one for the mansion? The
Constellation,
the lodge,
the
Constellation mission board. Yeah,
the Constellation mission board, you're doing scanning and stuff like that. Crimson Fleet one, you're going to be doing some piracy. But with the Freestar Rangers, the United Colonies, or the UC Vanguard, and then there's a general.
Just general missions, huh?
Kind of console, or that might be Trade Authority's mission board, because
there's one where you got to move a lot of freight.
Yeah. So, but any of the ones that tell you to go take out some bad guys, it's always kind of the same thing. It's random location, and then it's going to pick one of the three random, antagonistic factions: Spacers, Crimson Fleet, or Ecliptic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't mean to drag us off that far. I was just curious if you knew for sure if that was the same or different from, if they're all like that. All the UCs are not UC. Freestar Collective, FC.
Yeah. I mean, I can show you the Freestar and the UC mission boards, like once you've opened it and you see the list of missions, and you would probably not know the difference between the two if you saw them side by side.
They're colored different, but
there's
true. Ones and there's blue ones and there's red ones.
The color scheme might be different, but that might be the only change.
There's that one by one hab, all in one hab that we like so much.
Yeah, Graphs hab.
That's got all of those. Yes, and it's got all of those mission boards right there. So if you stick that hab right inside the front door of your ship, as soon as you walk in your ship, you turn the corner, step in there, and you've got all of your missions ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, on my Event Horizon 2, when you walk in from the bay, you walk into the bottom level of a 2x1 double-decker. But if you go straight across from that door, straight across The stairs are to your right, but you go straight across, you're going to go into that hab. And yeah, because where that door is placed, I lost a bed, but there's still one more bed in there. It's because there's one bed in the corner, so you always have a bed. And then the mission boards are on the far right corner, plus a bathroom and everything you need in that little hab to be like a perfect hab for people to come in from when they're off the ship. But yeah, I'll have to look for that mission board and see if I can find one, unless it's a mod that maybe you put there and didn't realize it was. Or sometimes mods will add random little stuff that you didn't expect. But I'll have to check that out. So,
something else I forgot to say with my spaceship.
Oh, what'd you do?
The only one of all of my ships, it's got an elevator.
Oh, you put one of the SPE elevators? Yeah.
I put the 3-level elevator in it, so that's pretty cool. I've never used that one. That one by far is probably the most immersive, fleshed out, really great. Who, the artist that did it spent a lot of time making sure that everything looked just right, was placed just right. Where some of the others, it seems like they went for the concept but didn't spend the time to really put a soul into the unit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
That one, it's pretty neat. So,
yeah,
anyway,
I'll have to do an elevator on a ship at some point. So probably my space trucker when I build a new ship that's like more of intended as a cargo ship, because his Event Horizon 2 ship right now is just, I'm going to try to map out the entire galaxy, survey and scan everything in the entire galaxy. See how that goes.
That's where you need to go ahead and get the Constellation mission board. And so make sure if you're going to be surveying and checking out all the plants and all the rocks and all the special stuff and everything, make sure you're doing it for a mission.
Yep. Well, here, do you know how the Constellation board actually works, though?
I've only done a couple of them.
So, you know how you can churn in the slates, the data slates? Doing a Constellation mission board takes the slate automatically from you and pays you. So it's not like you're getting double money, So if you're going to be going on a specific scanning mission, it's better to start at one end of the galaxy and work your way. But if you just want to if you don't want to have to go through the hassle of churning in the slate at a merchant, you need to
go to the eye and give it to
for the extra money. Yeah, I can't do that though in my final universe, because if you take the shortcut route, the dialogue option for him to offer you double for the slates is not there.
Oh,
yeah. Just like you lose out on the chance to build the Kepler.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the two big things that if you do the shortcut on the main quest, you don't get access to, unfortunately. Right. So, all right. So, anyways, back to the mission at hand. So, Deputized.
Yep. She gives you the long spiel. It says, do you have the right stuff? Well, we're going to test you first. Go over there and you go take one of those missions. Which one did you take? Which mission did you do? Did you do an Earthbound mission, or a planet bound, or a spaceship bound?
I did planet bound because my character is primarily. I'm doing enough of her ship skills to kind of be decent enough for me to handle some stuff, but she's more ground combat. With her sword skills. Thankfully, I've continued to test that the stealth isn't as bad as I thought. But the main issue with stealth is line of sight. It's extremely enemies will see you very, very clearly, even if you're in a dark corner wearing a suit. But if they don't have line of sight on you, you can at least make yourself quiet and sneak up behind them. But certain missions might be challenging because of how the enemies are positioned, where they have, they've got their...
Yeah, just wait till we get to the reunion missions.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. So yeah, I chose one where this one was, you go to a facility I think it was, the pharmaceutical lab, I think is the one I chose. And that's the one where, you land on the landing pad and there's a couple buildings right next to each other. And the guy I had to kill was in one of those. And then down below, there's a hill. You go down the hill and there's another building with a large, open bay door. And then you can further go down underground inside that one. Now,
yes,
I did not go underground, but I cleared all the buildings out, and then also that lower building after I killed their boss guy.
Yeah, there's usually a boss character back in that back hangar.
Yeah, and usually, yeah. Oh, there. So in that case, I got two because there was the one I had to kill, which is in one of the upper buildings, and then the other boss guy that had he has some cool gear on him.
Right.
And now I chose that one specifically because I'm pretty sure it specified it was ecliptic, and because my character has the wanted trait, I randomly get ecliptic, guys, usually spaceships and space panels that show up to collect the bounty. So I'm like, I'm going to take the fight to the ecliptic this time.
It's always at the most inopportune time. You're right in the middle of doing something. I just need to jump over to this planet and land and go talk to this guy. And you jump in, and then there's these ecliptic. Oh, we got you.
Yeah, and then it's like, then you can grab jump out, but then you can't land or travel around inside the system. You can't even go into super cruise, which I tested when if you're in combat, you can't go into super cruise. Only option is to grab jump out or fight. So
I picked the one that said, she had me go to the board, and I picked the one that says, go defeat the Crimson Fleet captain at such and such a location. So I had a space bound, and I did that one because I had just gotten my new ship, space worthy, combat worthy. Shields are on it, guns are on it now, so let's see how this works. And I don't know if we talked on air about where I've placed the docker, but the docker is on the one level below the Drake cockpit, right?
Yeah.
So I placed my docker on the same plane as the Drake, second floor of the Drake, so that the cockpit actually sits up above the docker, but the docker has just enough reach that you could put two ships, dock them right on top of each other.
Yeah.
And so I took this because I hadn't done any combat with the ship, and I hadn't done any docking with the ship. That's why I took the space mission. Okay. And I was like, okay, I want to see when these two ships dock, how close are they? They're going to be like right up on each other. So I go and I jump into the system to find this guy. And of course, what kind of ship does he have? He's got a watchdog.
Oh.
So now I'm docking this way. So it doesn't really give me the effect that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Because but it's still, the ship performed well. Nobody died but the bad guys. So everything was good. So we went back and talked with Emma.
Yep.
Got back to Emma, and she's like, okay, well, that's great. You're, looks like you're a shoe-in. Here's your bat. No. Don't you have to go and you go talk to the marshal? And that's when he hands you a badge and says, he asked her, and she says, you did a good job. And he's like, okay, well, here's your badge, deputy.
Yeah.
He gives you the badge, which... Here's another, just a tiny little mod would be cool if you could make that badge equipable.
Oh, so you put it on your outfit.
So you would put it either on your lapel or hang it off your belt loop or something, so that way it would be so immersive to be able to just say, okay, I'm going on a Freestar mission. I better put my badge on so everybody knows I'm official.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can put on if you put on the uniform, it has the badge on it. But I get what you're saying.
The uniforms look like...
Yeah, they don't look the best.
I don't like the green and tan. It's not my colors.
Yeah. Well, there's the one the Emma's wearing, like the reddish color one. So it's got the red and the gray in it, I think.
But you're a recruit. You get the green one because you're green.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So, or you could just I don't even think you can. Unless you
could scour the rock and find one in a corner or in a bathroom or something somewhere in somebody's room. Maybe. I don't know.
Or you could delete the programming of a different NPC and take theirs, maybe?
Or you could just get a mod that gives you craftability. I bring this same mod up so much, I'm sure people are so sick of me saying the word, but you could get a certain mod that'll let you craft every single outfit in the game.
Yep.
And you can just craft it.
Yep.
But at that point, if I'm crafting what I want to craft something cool and then put a badge on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good idea to be able to
I
wear
don't
the
know how hard
badge.
that would be. It doesn't seem like it would be much harder than making a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it'd be too hard. The
Hmm.
problem would be
I don't
is
know.
depending on
We
the apparel,
We've
like
got to get into the CK, buddy.
you'd have to know you'd have to know where that goes on when somebody equips it.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to change its location for every outfit in the game to make sure it's
That
properly.
probably would be the difficult part. Is you'd have to,
Yeah.
unless you put it on like a detective's, like in all the television shows, the detectives always have it on a chain, like a
around
dog tag
the
chain.
yeah.
And so if you just had it like that, to where it was like loose hanging on a chain, it wouldn't matter what the clothes were because it's just going to be on loose hanging around your neck.
Yeah. Well, at the very
it
least,
might
you could
clip
probably
through different
pick
stuff.
like 5 different outfits that are like diverse in style that
Mhm.
you put it on there somewhere. So that way, at least they have different
Right.
choices. So,
And it only
Yeah.
shows up on the clothes, not on the spacesuits, because you're not going to be wearing your badge out on the spacewalks on your
I
spacesuit out
might.
there. Okay, you might.
um,
All right, sorry about
yeah.
that. So
So
at that point,
you go on your first official assignment where you're running the show, but Emma's going to be a little tag along just to kind of monitor your performance. But so you're kind of
Right.
running it, but she's there watching over
she
your
says
shoulder.
we've got an emergency call that some farmers on a planet that we're in control of, right? The Freestar, it's under our jurisdiction, and there's this farmer saying that someone's tried to kick her off of her land or take her land or buy her land from her, and she doesn't want to do it.
Yep.
So we got to go find out what's going on.
Yep. So, and it's right there in the same system, Cheyenne system, and it's just on the map. It's just to the right of Aquila. It's the moon. It's the planet. I think is Montera Luna or
That's
something.
it.
But what you actually land on is a moon of that planet that has a breathable atmosphere. And side note, I think because the certain areas are the same for everybody, that's not always random generated. In that area, there's a couple awesome canyons that you can go and put an outpost down inside the canyon, which I did for my my combat medic, because there's like a canyon that if you put an outpost down there, it's almost like an airwolf vibe. It's like you're down in the canyon, so like obviously
right, and your ship just rises up as it.
Yeah, but yeah. So you talk to the farmer, and there were some people harassing her and stuff like that. Some riffraff.
I did notice because I attempted to put a base down just to see if I could, and there's a lot of different materials and minerals and stuff on this planet, like 8, 9 different ones. So if you're looking for something particular, this looks like it would be a great planet to go to and build on. Great moon.
Yeah. So it's a really, really good planet. Breathable atmosphere. Got a good variety of weather too. I always like it when there's a planet that has clear sunny days and rainy days and lightning and the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So Emma's tagging along, and the lady tells you, hey, go check out the canyon over there. So you walk, and you'll get quest markers periodically that like you walk up to it and it's on the ground, and all you have to do is select it. I think the very first time I played, I walked up to the thing and I'm like, oh, okay. And I kept walking, and then like the quest marker's behind me, and I'm like, what the heck? And
I did that this time.
Yeah. There's a little teeny window, or depending, I don't know, maybe it varies, but it was a small hitbox where you actually select A on the controller to interact with it and you can literally see some footprints right there in a little muddy spot. And so you zigzag down the canyon. There's all these creatures, or it's called the sunflower or something.
Coral sunflower.
Yeah,
something like that. They're incredibly tedious.
Yeah.
At low level, I was having quite a difficult time the first time I played through this. I remember specifically going, okay, I got to find something. And instead of going through the canyon, after dying a couple of times from those things, I decided I'm just going to walk the rim of the canyon and shoot down into the canyon and kill all these things off before I go down there.
Well, they burrow in the ground though.
Right.
They can come up behind you, so you got to be careful of that. I did have one pop up behind me on a ledge somewhere. I mean, I think they are programmed not to come up if you're on a solid rock. Like, I think there is a distinction. If you're on dirt, that's where it can be an issue.
You can do the star sense and see them underground.
Oh, yep.
And then huck a grenade out at them.
Yeah.
And that disrupts them, and then they come up, and then you can take them out from a distance.
True.
That was the way I got away with it at like level, whatever, 8, 10, low level.
Yeah, low level.
And Emma, she's a badass. She goes in there with her freaking Bowie knife, and she's ready to go to town.
Yeah.
I've got an assault rifle, and I'm just trying to take these guys out, and she's there with her Bowie knife going hand to hand on them.
Yeah, I was debating on giving her a gun, although I don't think you can trade with her because she's not a follower. But yeah,
probably not yet.
A little ridiculous just to give her a knife. But whatever. And then so you make your way through the canyon. You kill some of those creatures, and there's these larger ones you have to eventually kill. That's
the only time that I've run into a canyon like that in this game, and it's a very cool environment.
Yeah,
it's all custom, hand developed. Yeah. What do you call that? Where it's all handmade,
handcrafted. Yeah,
handcrafted.
Thought just occurred to me. Can you set up an outpost in there once you've cleared it out of all the critters? Can you set up an outpost there? And then the second question is do any of those critters respawn, or are they connected to the quest?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to check that out.
Back. Yeah.
Yeah, because the canyon I was talking about setting up the outpost a minute ago, that's in a different direction from the farm.
Right. The canyon, you go in and it kind of wise off, right?
Yeah. Well, the canyon I'm talking about is a completely separate canyon. Like,
oh, okay.
If you look at the map, you can see there's multiple canyons around. This one's almost more like a crater in shape. There's like one part of it that's more rounded with like a smaller ravine that leads away from the main circle spot.
Mm-hmm. I went down into the mouth of the canyon because what's her name? Wagner, Malika Wagner tells you that there's, the bad guys went down into that canyon behind the farm that way. So you go down there and it's got a trail that leads right down into the canyon. Then I opened up my scanner and looked at the map and I was like, okay, the canyon goes down and it splits off. But if I go over this ridge, there's another little wider canyon and maybe I can come up from behind them because I've never tried that. Yeah. And of course, what happens? You've got the marker at the very beginning of the canyon that tells you to look at the footprints, right? Yeah. So I'm way over here and I march around, and I got to go all the way back up the canyon to the first set of footprints. So it didn't do me any good to try to do an ambush attack.
Yeah. Each time you activate the next set of footprints, it spawns the next wave of guys. So if you try that, you're going to walk through a canyon that's completely void of anything, and then everything is just magically there after, yeah.
Right. So you got to kind of follow the trail, the bunny trail, which is fine, I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
I just thought after you do it a few times, you're like, how else can I do this? I want to try this a different way. Didn't work out so well, but didn't stop me, right? Yep. It didn't hurt anything. It didn't hitch the game up. It didn't cause a conflict or nothing. So everything still worked fine. Yeah. It didn't bug out on you. And that's probably why they actually have it set up that way, where each little group only spawns if you go in the correct order, because it would probably get screwed up if you went around and bypassed the quest marker and the things were already there. That probably would somehow screw things up, bug out. But yeah, so after you've gone through the canyon and killed the creatures, at one point in my case, I started hearing the gunshots first. Is that how it was for you? I heard something, and maybe they were gunshots, but I was hearing something, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting close." Yep. And I think there's one last ambush before you get to the camp. There's one last ambush from creatures that crawl up out of the ground. Oh, and you start seeing dead creatures around. There was a flying creature, Triceratops, maybe something like that. There was a flying creature on the ground, and there was some of the dead coral sunflower creatures, and then there were these big fat hippo pig looking things that came up out of the ground with some ugly looking face.
Yeah, those
So
guys
we
were
took those out.
a bit tanky. Took a little bit to kill them. One of them actually, that's right. One did kill me. I was a little shocked, but I mean, I got a little overconfident with my character, and I was just like, oh, these guys are low level. But I'm like, well, I'm not on my space trucker who's starborn. This character is not starborn, and she's like level,
Right.
I think not even level 50. So, but yeah.
So you go through a tunnel and you come out the other side, and you're in like a little box canyon. I went through sneaking, so nobody saw me when I snuck in.
Okay.
And I did it twice because the very first time I snuck in and I looked over to my right and I could see that there was a gun range. There was targets on the wall. And that's where then you can start seeing the flashes over there. You're like, somebody's target practicing over there.
Yep.
So maybe I don't go stand at the end of the gun range where they're already shooting that way.
Yeah.
Right? This is what we call a clue.
Yep.
So I went the other way and snuck around, and I popped up, and everybody happened to be in my line of sight, and it was like pop, 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 pop. Done.
Yep.
Okay. And I was still getting the message that says, go confront the ruffians. And I'm like, they're all dead. Who am I supposed to confront? They're done. They're dead. They never even got a chance to take a shot at me, so there was no confrontation. So it didn't click the next.
Oh.
It didn't click forward. I took him out so quick that the game was like, hey, wait a second. No, you got to go, you got to let them yell at you first.
So if I had actually stealth killed all of them, then I would have had to reload. That would have been frustrating. Because I went over to the gun range. I'm like, oh, this guy's got his back to me. He's shooting off guns, so his hearing's going to be, marginalized. And so I took him out. But then I looked over, and there's 3 more guys. 2 are looking like at you, and the other guy's looking the other way. So there's really, for a melee stealth kill, there's no way to approach that situation. And I sat there for a minute to see if one would like turn his back or get up or walk. There's the one sitting down looking away from you. The boss guy's looking at you at the gun range, and then I can't remember what the other guy was doing. I think he actually may have been
one of them sitting down eating at a fire.
Yeah,
a campfire.
Yeah, that's the one with his back to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after kind of observing for a minute, that's when I drank some Aurora, which slows time down by I think 50% for 10 seconds. Pulled out my sword and just ran up and surprised him. I mean, she's got a gun and she's decent with the rifle. It's a laser rifle. It's the Equinox. And I'm doing her skills a little bit with that gun, so that way if I have to be in a shooting situation, she can handle it. But she figured she just ran up she did get a stealth kill on the guy sitting down because as I ran up, I crouched and then swung at the one guy. Stealth killed him, but the other guy the boss guy was like facing me. So then he pulls out his gun and starts shooting at me, and I kill him in 2 or 3 hits. And then I head over and kill the other guy. He ran. There's like those tent things, canopies. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
You said she doesn't have any starborn powers, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually she will.
That's the perfect instance for the grav dash. Where you do the first stealth kill, and then you're out in the open, then you can dash halfway across the opening, and then you're right in front of them to be able to
close the distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be interesting to see what the grav dash looks like when you're under the influence of Aurora.
Right. So does Aurora speed your action up?
Well, it slows time down by 50% for 10 seconds. Yeah. So
could you imagine being on Amp and Aurora and Grav Dash?
Oh, geez. Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, what is it? Squall, I think, is the one that does speed and damage at the same time. That's my favorite drug with her, because I think it's all damage, not just it's melee or ranged. So if I'll pop Squall and then drink some Aurora. Yeah. But then I think after there's something you have to pick up a slate Is it on him or is it laid? Is it on the guy or is it laying about somewhere?
It's sitting on one of the crates there on the ground.
Okay.
Oops, I'm sorry. So yeah, go and loot everybody's body. Right, you're going to get at least one set of nice stuff. And if you're using a lootable mod, you're going to get a nice suit and helmet and backpack and a gun. The other guys are going to probably have or possibly 2 different legendaries, so you can get some nice loot out of this if you want to spend the time.
Yeah.
And then there's a spaceship there. It's a watchdog sitting there. And first thing, of course, you got to go run in there and see if you can jump in the pilot seat and take the ship.
Can't even get inside the ship.
Can't do it. Nope, inaccessible.
Yeah.
So then I wandered around and looked at everything, and yes, there is what does it say? Search for clues in the camp. And then it says you find a slate that says job's done. I just happened to did my homework this morning, and I got this brought up already. So here's exactly what it says. It says, G, my contract on the inside came through. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start over. G, my contact on the inside came through, and I've got your ship. Grabbed it right out of the factory. How embarrassing for Hope Tech. Bum, bum, bum. This is, if you're playing this chronologically, this is like some of your first interactions with Hope Tech, right?
Yep.
Says I'll drop it off at the agreed upon location once the credits are in my account. If you need any other ships, Jack, let me know. I'm always looking for work. So that is the slate that they want you to find. And that gives you the clue of, somebody stealing ships from Hope Tech. Have we heard of this? As the police, the cops, the authorities, has anybody mentioned that entire ships are getting stolen straight out of the factory floor? Maybe we should go talk to somebody.
Yep.
All right. So Emma wants us to return? Let's see. No.
You return to the farm at that point.
Go to the farm and tell the farmer that we've taken care of them, but I think it's brought up that we don't know if anybody else may or may not show up, but we got these guys taken care of.
Yes? Look at this. Excuse me. Look at this screenshot. I had it from last week. It's the one that shows the picture of Emma Wilcox.
Okay, so, where do I find? Where are you looking at? Where am I looking?
In the chat, just above the.
Okay.
Yeah. So, being my Cyberrunner character, who's greedy, stingy, there was an option to demand payments. Yes. I wouldn't have chose that on my space trucker or my combat medic. Well, my combat medic didn't do the Freestar Ranger request because he's UC, but my space trucker didn't choose that option. But this character, she wants her money, and so I said that, and him was like, "Excuse me, trainee, but we do not try to extort credits from the people we're protecting."
I look at that one, and I try to stay in character when I'm reading these things. I read through all of them, and then I kind of laugh and chuckle at what could happen if you do you just say thank you, or do you ask for money, or right? Yeah, I didn't click on the ask for money, but that is hilarious. Excuse me, trainee, we do not extort people that we help. Oh, that's too funny.
Every other time you ask for money, I think the person will give you money or give you something.
Well, yeah, anytime I jump into a system and either the Freestar or the UC are being attacked, and I jump into the fight and I kill everybody, and they're like, "Hey, how can we repay you?" And you're like, "Hey, credits is great." They give you money every time.
Yep. So I was proud of myself and proud of the writers for
that's
putting that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after that you head back to the Rock to fill in Marshall Blake on the situation, and that completes the quest. And then you're off to the next quest, which is Where Hope is Built.
And I think I stepped on the first couple of things for the next quest, but it made me start thinking. I put some show notes in, and I wanted to mention here. So as I was working through the very tail end of this quest, I wrote down Who is the Council of Governors? Because when we talk to, maybe this is the start of the next quest. Maybe I need to save this for next week.
Yeah,
Did we
I know. Yeah, that's next quest, I think.
Okay, because it comes up that there's some questions that we want to ask. I'll hold those questions for next week because
I'm pretty
that
sure
is
that's the start of the next
start
quest.
of next week's quest.
Yeah,
So
because there's a handful of people that are part of the Council of Governors.
yeah, but we don't know nothing about him yet. So that's
Yep.
the first thing that jumps in my mind is my character will be like, who is this council? Who are these people?
Yep.
Why are they important?
I think there's 5, but I can only think of 3 off the top of my head.
Well, I know 2.
Yep. So that'll be next week. We'll get into that. So
Sweet.
that'll be.
That means that I can go do my chores today, and then I can go. I can go do the quest now.
Well, hopefully,
I've been trying to monitor myself and not jump a week or 2 ahead. So
yep. One quest at a time. Keep it fresh in your mind.
That's right.
Yep. So next week we'll get into where hope is built, and also I'm trying to do the Stroud Premium Edition mod. I'm trying to do 1 video a week on that until I get through it all, because it's a lot of stuff in there. So I did the stairs and elevators as the first video because that's the most. I mean, if there was just one thing out of that whole mod, I would definitely take that. Just having additional stairs, especially a flight of stairs and an elevator that only is a 1x1 and not,
Did you do the elevator? I haven't seen the stairs and elevators one. I did. Yeah. I saw the one that you did that has all of the 1x1s for
the Constellation crew members.
The Constellation cruises.
Yeah,
did you have another one out also?
Yeah, the previous video, the very first video I did on SPE was about it's the elevators, the stairs, the ramp, which is stairs, and then the split.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that one. I'll have to go back and watch that one.
Yeah. So, there's one guy in the comment section on that particular video that, like, you were talking about how the elevators are really well designed. Like the person put a lot of good thought into it. Like, because when you're on level 2 and 3 and so on, there's actually a little fence or a railing around the elevator shaft because it's not a solid wall elevator. So it's, okay, there's a nice railing so people don't fall down a 20-foot shaft. Well, this one guy made a point. On the very bottom level, there's no railing to prevent
you get squished.
So you can get squished.
Right. So the way it works is if, let's say that you get into your ship, you get on the elevator, you go up to the top level, you get up and you go into your cockpit. The next place you land, you just get out. Well, that leaves the elevator box at the top of the shaft.
Okay.
Right? So now when you get into your ship, the elevator is up. You have to push the button to get the elevator to come down. And that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
But if you did it the other way, if the elevator was all the way down, let's say you got out of the captain's seat and rode the elevator down and left your ship, and then the next time you boarded directly to the cockpit. Well, then when you go back to the elevator shaft, the elevator is down at the bottom.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that way you don't fall into the elevator shaft. But it is really cool because some of the other elevators that I've seen, it's inside of a box and you can't see really. There may be kind of a window and some girders and stuff, but it's not very clear what's going on around you. This one, it's got big open areas. So as you're going up, you can see the transition from floor to floor. You know, it's and so
Yep.
Right?
And there is a little frame rate. I don't know if it's necessarily a frame rate issue or if mechanically the thing literally stops for just a split second or like a fraction of a second on each level. Assuming you go from, say, level 1 to 3 or 4 or 5, right? As you're going up, it's going to go.
Oh, I got you.
But yeah,
that kind of little stuff.
The cool thing is you can decorate the area around it, then right, and put stuff there. So it's just as you're going up the elevator, it's just more visually pleasing,
right? That was I had to make sure I made some accommodations using the Place the Doors Yourself mod. I had the doors opening into the elevator 1x1 box, which left this big door in the box in the way. So there's not a whole lot of room around it, right? So I had to go through and switch my doors from opening from the inside to opening to the outside, right? So that
Well,
they
you can
weren't
also,
opening.
for a lot of my interior doors that are like, I use the I don't know how to pronounce it, but the Jalouse thing. It's like the
Yes, the
shutter
jello.
things.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. Use that.
I didn't realize that's what that was.
Yeah.
I might have
Yeah.
to go through and change some of mine.
Yeah. Ever since I downloaded PDY, I've been having so much fun with that because I'm really able to build the ship in a very logical way.
It
Like,
completely changes the way you design your
yeah.
spaceship because it gives you so much more freedom to lay out your
Mhm.
floor plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Because not only
I
is
won't
it
go back. It's a
placing
pain in the
doors,
ass, but I won't go back.
yeah. I mean, and not only can you place the door on the hab where you want it, you can set it up to open one way or the other, which is very useful because sometimes like there's nothing of consequence on one side of the hab, but in the next hab over, there's like a chair that the door blocks or something. And you're like, this is ridiculous. So you can have it open either direction. You have the Jalouse, which is just the screen, like,
Mhm.
like things.
Star Trek.
Which I use that as like curtains
Mhm.
on the. Well, there was one that was I think called shutters, which I thought was going to be the slat things that do this,
Yeah.
right? But it's a thing that comes from top to bottom, and I don't like it because it's so slow. But the Jalouse, where it's just the two doors that come like this, I put that on as like kind of like curtains in a way. So in the captain's quarters on my SPE captain's quarters, the 2x1, you walk in the door, you got the coffee bar on the left, and then the window to the right where there would be a wet bar, liquor bar, right, if you don't have something there. But I put the window there with the Jalouse, so it's like you can open it or close it. And then of course the throughway, the passageway, where there's no physical door, which I
Pass
have.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only time I have, like, I'll have the bulkhead doors somewhere near the cockpit, the vanilla door, because like if there's structural damage to the ship, you want to make sure the cockpit is nice and sealed off. I'll do that. So the docker, the bay, and the cockpit, I always make sure to have the vanilla door, the nice strong sealing doors, so that way if there's any structural integrity issues, and then if it's going from, say, a lot of just general passageways, I get rid of the door, so you just walk through.
Yes.
And then I'll have the Jalouse on all the bedrooms, anywhere there's a bed, right? I'll put the Jalouse there.
Private areas.
Yep.
There's a door. Cargo areas, I put a door. But like the door to the med bay, no door. Just walk through.
Yeah.
You don't need to lock up the hospital. It needs to be open.
Yep.
Right. Anything that's going to like a mess hall or communal area, no doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So if it's just like a storage closet area, no door.
Yeah.
I want it as open and free, movable, movement in the ship as possible.
Yeah.
So that when you do come across a door, it gives you that thought all of a sudden, this must be an important location if there's a door lock or a lock here, right?
Yeah.
The brig's going to have a door, cargo space going to have a door, captain's quarters, crew's quarters, bathroom. That's it. Everything else is open.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good way to do it. Oh boy. Oh, another episode in the books.
Yep.
So next week we're going to get into Where Hope is Built. We're going to meet Ron Hope. And Hope Tech, of course, is one of the 5 ship manufacturers in the game. Yeah. So it's going to be
good. I think at the end of this quest line, this has a lot of ramifications down the line, right? Doesn't this have some
at the very end of it?
Game-wide effects for.
Well, all the faction quests do have a large decision you make at the end. UC kind of has 2, which, we've already discussed it on this podcast here. So, slight spoiler alert for the UC. I mean, there's the one character you get to decide his fate,
right? Yeah,
so to speak. Not so much a live or die thing, but and then there's the other, how you handle the terramorph issue. And so those are 2 distinct decisions you can make with Crimson Fleet, it's pretty obvious. You either, well, we won't get into that because we haven't done that quest on the podcast yet. But yeah, every quest has like their choice. So there's one big choice at the end of Freestar, which a little frustrating. We'll talk about it more when it happens. But
I have a feeling that we're going to have this similar discussion at the end of this quest line that we had with the moral decision of Terran Armada. Do I do the thing or not do the thing? And we'll find out, because we'll talk about it, and then it may change my mind as to how I should react once I get my eyes open to it. Because I tend to see things very black and white, very narrow, and sometimes if I think about what's actually supposed to be going on in the narrative storyline, I might make a different decision. So
gotcha.
I really enjoyed the conversations when we get to that, and you're like, hey, did you think about how this looks or how this goes? And you're like, ooh, if I'd have thought about that, that is exactly what my guy would have done, but instead he just killed everyone, or whatever the answer happens to be. But
well, there's the morality philosophical kind of debate that sometimes these quests can do, and that's why I like it. That's what I like more so with the Fallout games. I think they do better with having those kind of choices you have to make. And Starfield does a decent job. I don't think Skyrim did it too much. I don't think there was too many choices in Skyrim. But yeah,
did you see the news that Exile Studios is going to be putting out a Fallout game also?
Exile Studios? What other games have they?
Different Fallout, huh?
What other games have they made?
The head of the studio is the one that did Fallout 1 and 2, and Tactics, and then continued with the games called Wasteland, I think it was, which was kind of the predecessor to Fallout, but they had already sold the rights to Fallout to Bethesda, so he couldn't call his next game a Fallout game, so he did Wastelands.
Okay.
They're giving the reins of a project also. So there's
interesting.
New Vegas remake, Fallout 3 remake, this new Exile thing that's coming up. There's Fallout 5 coming up. So there's going to be a ton of Fallout stuff coming up.
Yeah, that's. I really hope.
That sounds like a flood, huh?
Yeah, I do want an increased release rate of Bethesda games and games. Fallout, Skyrim, or Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and I know someday we'll get Elder Scrolls, or probably get a Starfield 2 way down the line. But these games need room to breathe, and I don't. I mean, for me, it's like I want usually about 2 to 3 years on the one game before the next one comes out.
Yeah. Where are we at? We're going on year 3 now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're coming up on the third anniversary, 2023. Yeah, and I've got several hundred hours into this game, and
but you've still not even completed all of the vanilla content yet.
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah,
what happens when
Ryujin quest line
every 6 months coming out, and you're trying to?
Yeah, that's why I tapped out of
the main quest and say you completed the game and move on. That's what happens with a lot of these. My brother-in-law, my wife's youngest brother, bought Skyrim shortly after I did, or maybe 6 months or a while after I did. And we were talking about it. He's like, yeah, I played that game. I finished it already. I was like, wait, what? He's like, oh, yeah, it didn't take me long at all. I'm like, did you go do the thief quest? No. Well, did you do the wizard's tower? No. Did you do the assassin's faction? No. He did the main quest line, and ran right through it in about 4, 5, 6, 10 hours and was done with the games. Oh, I completed it. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
That's
not the whole point of these games, is for them to take months and months and months. Yeah. Devour your life. Eat up all spare time you have.
Yep. So, well. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to get the new remakes, like the New Vegas remake, because I don't think I ever completed that game. I don't think I ever completed the main line of the main quest on that. And with new graphics and have it running, I hope we'll see. I hope the models all look good. I hope the graphics all look good.
Yeah,
improved.
I got so frustrated because right before the main final battle, the game bugged and it was constantly crashing. I didn't have any mods. This was and I was on the console, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the one time I was mad, very, very mad at the Bethesda game.
That could very well be why I switched to whatever the next thing in my play order was. I may have been getting frustrated with some things and went, we're just moving on.
Yeah, because I'd gone around and there's the different factions you can try to get to help you and in the fight, and then there's 4 choices there's like the boomers and the powder gangers and the cons. Those are the ones you can get to help you. And then there's the 4 factions you have to choose who to help. So NCR, Kaiser's Legion, Yes Man, or Mr. House, right? And it was somewhere at a point where I'd already done the factions, the supporting factions, but at some point the game was just constantly crashing. It was something happened, and what really frustrated me is to this day that's the only Bethesda game that I 100% explored the entire map, discovered every location, and went through the whole thing. I never did that on Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. Fallout 4 remains the one I've played the least. But and
I played the hell out of Fallout 4. Every nook and cranny, every rock, every cave, everything.
Yep.
And then started modding it. That's where I started, doing mods with that. And I had so much fun making some of the mods. I made I took the Starlight drive-in and just killed everything there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Destroyed everything there, and then built an entire big platform foundation, huge warehouse, and then built like an ammo manufacturing plant where it had like 6 different ammo lines coming off, going onto conveyor belts that all converged into one conveyor belt, ran down the center of the building and dropped off into a bucket, all of these different ammunitions into one bucket. And I just flipped the switch on and boop, I'm manufacturing ammunition, and then I go run off and shoot a bunch of guns, do whatever. I come back, scoop up all these different. Yeah.
Oh, that was so much cool. Fun.
When they came out with the contraptions, everybody saw that as, this is a jip of a DLC. I was like, this stuff is so cool.
Yeah.
Because I made all these like, what are the conveyor belts that went up?
Yep.
And then they would come to a spot, and then they would dump onto another conveyor belt that would split. I did a couple of different builds with that, with the conveyor belts, and they have little splitter arms that they go through a light beam, and it causes it to split either to the left or to the right.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you can make certain things go one way or the other. Yeah, I did a lot of stuff with that. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty awesome. Yep, gotta love the mods.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I got chores, brother.
Yep. Same here. I gotta go feed the kiddo. So. Well, it was a good time talking this mission through. And any last words, Jax?
Life is a participation sport, guys. So jump in there, drive fast, and take lots of chances.
And if you have any feedback, be sure to send it in to starfieldreport@gmail.com. If you have any ship builds you want to send pictures in, we'll be sure to show them here on the show, as well as just general emails about the content and what we're talking about. Other than that, folks, take care, and we will see you in the Starfield.
Then let me be the first to officially welcome you to the United Colonies Vanguard.